Good afternoon, guys. This is Nate with American Patriot Appliance, and today we're going to be working on a Frigidaire Flair oven stove combo. You might recognize it if you've ever seen the show Bewitched from the 80s or 70s or whenever that show was put on there. It's the oven she was using in the show. Let me show you. See that? You might probably recognize it. It's really cool. It's a double oven. It's got an oven here. It's a smaller oven. The door opens this way. That's super cool. The bake element has been removed. You got some cleaning supplies in there, or cleaning like spray stuff in there. Up there's the bake element, or the broil element. Stationary. All that cleaning stuff will cook off once we get this thing turned on. Then we look over here at the other oven, which is bigger. There's the label for it, Flair. And it's made by Frigidaire, product of General Motors, Custom Imperial. So we'll open up this oven in here. Again, the bake element has been removed. The broil element's up there. Again, it's got cleaning solution on it. Again, that'll burn off once we get it turned on. Oh, and then here we got an outlet for plugging in your smaller appliances and accessories. You got oven controls here. Your meat tender, that's pretty cool. Tells you what your temperatures are supposed to be. An analog clock for time bake and all of that. And you got your burner switches. Where are the burners, you might ask? Well, let me show you. Grab here, push this down, pull it out. Ta-da, look at that. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 2 large burners, 2 small burners. We don't know which ones work and which ones don't. That's what we're going to be checking out today. Close this. There we go. So, yep, we're going to get started taking this thing apart. I'm going to get my camera set up on my tripod. I'll be right back. All right, so first things first, I'm going to take the top off. It requires taking this bar off of here first. A couple of Phillips screws. And this bar comes off like this. And then the top lifts up and this way, just like that. All right, let me grab a hold of you. Come take a look. All right, so we got some big old springs. These are what control, or what hold the oven doors. So when you lift up the oven door, it compresses that spring. So that's what holds the door open. Pretty cool. Got lots of old wiring. Looks like there have been some repairs done. We got wire nuts and tape. Looks like we got some wires that have been wrapped in tape. Look at that. We've got some insulation breaking down. This thing is really old. It's probably 50 or 60 years old. Maybe even older. Can't really tell without looking at some kind of tag or anything. I don't know. Maybe we'll find out when we're in the middle of this project. But we got, this is the connectors for the broiler element in the left oven, and the connectors for the broiler element in the right oven. And it looks like this one has a light, a fluorescent light, because that's a fluorescent light starter. We got the back side of the timer here, the clock, oven controls. These are the switches that control the burners. And we got some lights here. Those are probably just regular incandescent bulbs. And then on the back, wiring coming out the back here. Comes down. Now these wires are fed to the burners that are inside that drawer, that pull-out drawer. Right here is our incoming power. This is the pigtail. It's been kind of wired in temporarily. Got 2 hots and a ground. That's the old style. So now we're going to start taking off this back plate, this big boy right here. Let's see what kind of wiring we got inside there, see its condition, and then we'll assess where to go from there. Let me get this set up again and we'll take it off. Be right back. Alright, so got some screws here. And move this tape out of the way. One here, one here. So pull this panel off and see what's behind it. Oh, we're caught on something. Okay, there we go. So we got some more wires here. Looks like a connector here, a disconnect. And we got the connectors for the bake element on the bigger oven, the connectors for the bake element on the little oven. And this thing has some serious green patina on there. So that's going to have to be checked out. That's just from moisture getting on the brass fittings, or copper fittings, whatever they're made of back then. Connector that leads to the burners on the other side. Got a transformer there. So I'm going to get a closer look at these wires before I do any kind of turning on of power. I want to make sure there's no wires that are exposed that might cause a short circuit. So I'm going to pick you up and show you guys a little bit. Get you a closer look at that patina that was on there. Right here. That's patina. That's what happens to copper and brass when it gets wet over time. But sitting in this garage, in Florida humidity, it's no surprise. So, let me get a closer look here. See these wires. If there's anything that needs to be rewired or reconnected. I don't see any connectors that are broken. We got a terminal block there, like a secondary terminal block. It comes in from the one I showed you on the back. Check out these wires. I don't see anything broken there either. A little bit of patina. Your oven control. Thermostat. No broken wires. No exposed copper. Looks like whoever worked on it last, however many decades ago it was, wrapped the wires pretty well with that tape. I don't see anything exposed. Like no risk of short circuit that I can tell. Over here, these wires look pretty good. There's a fuse. I'll have to check that out, make sure it's still good. Alright, so I think it's time we go turn on the power and see what works and what doesn't work. I'll be right back. Alright, so we got the power turned on and nothing popped or exploded or lit on fire or smoked or anything, so nothing is immediately short-circuited. But we're going to go ahead and take my meter and we're going to test these connections and see where we have power, if we have power. Starting with ground, touch it on one of the hots. Looks like we got 122 volts. That's good. And from here to here, 122 volts. So now from here to here, it should be 240 something. Bada bing, 244 volts. All right, so that's good. So we've got power coming in and power going out from the wires that are connected to the top of that terminal. Coming up here through all of this. All right, so I'm gonna have to do something fancy to get this tripod set up in here to see these parts. So I'll be right back. All right, so I'm gonna check the power at these switches. These are the burner switches. Got our meter. We're gonna see what kind of voltage we get. So the red wire right here and the black wire, those are your incoming power. This one's gonna be 120. This one's gonna be 120. These blue wires on this one lead to one of the burners. Okay? And then you have this wire right here, this yellow one, that turns on the lights to notify you that the burner is on. All right, so let's test the incoming power first. We're gonna do, touch it to a screw here. That should be grounded. I should have power coming from the black. Oh, look at that, 122 volts. And then power coming to the red, 122 volts. Let's try the other one. Stay on ground. Do, okay, yeah, those are the same. They're connected. All right, so we've got power to the switches. So now, let's see. Let me go to the other side. This thing's set in here. We don't want it tipping over or touching anything we don't want it to touch. Now we're going to check the power coming into the oven control. So I'll set up my meter right here. That's going to be difficult for you guys to see. But touch to a screw for ground. We're going to test for power pretty much everywhere that I can touch, see what's got power and what doesn't. This, yeah, we got 122 volts there. 122 volts there. That's got a white wire on it, so it's probably a neutral. Move this guy out of the way. Back on ground. I'm going to touch this one here. No voltage there, so that's probably a bake element. It's not going to be powered until you turn on the thermostat. Same with that one. All right. So it looks like we've got plenty of power going into everything. You know what, let me check this fuse over here. I've got to be very careful when reaching in here. I don't want to get bit. It screws in just like a light bulb. Some of you know the old fuses. Get a look in there. Well, it looks like it's still good. Not burned. It should be fine. Screw it back in. All right. So let's pull out the drawer, the burners, and see what comes on. I come around here. All right, let me get you set up over here. Like this. All right. All the way out. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to do the right rear burner. I'll put it on high and see if anything happens. Oh, it's getting hot. Look at that. Tape out of the way. We don't want it to melt or burn or cause any kind of problem. So that burner is on. Oh yeah, getting nice and hot. So let's turn it off. Now we're going to do big burner on the left. Oh, see the light come on? So this burner here. Oh, it's not coming on. So we're going to have to check the wire on that one, find out why it's not working. All right, so we'll turn that off. The left front burner. Light came on. So it's sending voltage, but is it receiving voltage? Oh yeah, it's getting hot quick. That's a good one. So we'll give that just a moment. See if it's got anything on it that's going to burn off and cause some smoke. Oh, guess not, but ooh, there's a lot of heat coming off of that guy. All right, so we'll go ahead and turn this one off. Let's check the right front, the big burner. Turn it on. Huh. Lights on, so it's sending voltage. Oh yeah, it's getting hot. So we have one burner that doesn't work so far. Oh yeah. Go ahead and turn this off. All right, now I want to check the oven, but I have to go get the bake elements. They're on a shelf over there. So I will be right back. All right, so we got the burners, the bake elements. So this one here was on the shelf over there. Kind of a weird shaped element. Got like bracing on it. Gives it that extra strength. Now I did notice that, oh, that's one. The contacts for this thing are very, very rusty. And that's not going to make a very good connection if I don't sand it down. Then here's the burner for the small oven. Same problem. The contacts are really rusty. So I may have to get some sandpaper for those. But let me see. Let's see what I can find. I'll be right back. So as it turns out, these aren't the only, this isn't the only flare they've got. These people have a second flare. See over there in the corner, laying on its side? So I went ahead and grabbed the bake elements out of it. Look at those contacts. Nice and pretty, shiny. And here's the other one, the big one. Look at that. Clean, shiny. We're going to use those instead. Oh yeah. So, open this up. Put this over here. All right, so we're going to take this guy. Get it plugged in here. Oh, wait, before I plug that in, let's check the controls and make sure we're off. Off. Okay, good. It's not going to come on as soon as I push it in. That would be awkward. Get in there. There we go. Interesting. This one doesn't have the braces on it. Let me grab the braces off the other element because I don't want this to be able to touch the bottom. I'll be right back. All right, so we got the corner braces taken off. Put on this other burner. This guy shoved in here. Like that. There we go. Now it's not touching the bottom. It's got these little feet that keep it off the bottom. All right, let's get the other oven open. This doesn't want to stay open. I might have to take the spring out of that other oven. Stay. All right. So let's get this oven element plugged in. Okay, there we go. So now we're going to do the small oven first. All right, let's see. Left oven. This is rare, medium, well done. Oh, that must be the, broiler grill. Broiler grill? I don't know what that's for. I don't know. Left oven. Turn this on to about 350. Let's see if this thing starts smoking as it burns off that cleaning solution. Just give that just a moment. Do I feel anything? Well, it's slow, but it's starting to warm up. I'll have to give that a few minutes. Yeah, it's quite slow. All right, let me pause here for just a few minutes and we'll let it heat up a little bit, see what it does. I'll be right back. All right, it occurred to me while that was taking forever to heat up. I mean, I can feel it now a little. That's the burner that had the patina on the contact in the back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the power off. I'm going to come back here. I'm going to pull that connector off, probably both connectors, clean them up a little bit, maybe even replace them, and see if we can get it to heat up a little faster. So let me do that. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm going to take off this one because that was the patina one that's really bad. But then when I went to take off the other one, the blue one, that connector broke. So I have to replace both of those guys. So I'm going to go get a couple of connectors from the truck and come replace these. I'll be right back. All right, got me a couple of connectors. And we're going to go ahead and take and cut these wires off, these connectors off. Snip. I'm going to strip it down off the insulation just a little bit. You don't want to strip too far. Expose the copper there. Give it a twist. I'll take our connector, put it in my crimper. Like that. Give it a good squeeze. There we go. That's that one. Now we'll do the same with this one. Strip that off of there. Now this wire is a little newer. This must be a replacement wire. It's got vinyl insulation instead of the old cloth stuff. Twist it. Crimp this guy like that. Nice and tight. All right, so now, oh, that's not too bad. I'm going to take my pocket knife and scrape that out a little bit. That'll do. I'll stick this wire on here. Boy, don't need my pliers for that. Brand new connectors, tight. Put it on there. Come on. Come on. There we go. That one. And then this one. There we go. Got those put on there. So now, I'll go back around and turn it on and see if it heats up faster. Be right back. All right, so I got the wire fixed. Now we're going to turn the oven on. Left oven. Power on to 350. Looks like the lights don't work very well, or at all. May have to check those out. But in the meantime, yeah, it's getting hot. Actually, it's, oh yeah, it's getting hot a lot quicker. Replacing those connectors was definitely the secret. Now we should start seeing it heat up. We'll probably burn off that cleaning solution. All right, so that's working. So now, turn it off. Close the door. Open this one. Let's see what happens with this guy. Well, let's turn it on. Right oven. Turn this on to 350. Oh, that light came on. Look at that. So apparently that left bulb that says bake is burned out. We have to replace that one, but we'll see. Stay. Oh, come on. Stay up there. Stay. There we go. Stay. All right. Oh, yeah. That's coming on real quick. Look at the smoke coming off of that. So this one works great. Oh, yeah. Probably don't want to breathe that too much. Probably give me a headache, cause some lung problems. I'm not even sure what she sprayed on. Probably Easy Off. I think Easy Off leaves that white residue on there. Okay. That's the oils, and oh yeah, nice and hot. Okay. Let me close this. We're going to do the broil. See what happens with that. Turn it all the way on to broil. All right. And the broil light doesn't come on. Probably burned out. But let's take a look inside, see if it starts smoking. Give that a moment. Stay. Stay. Thank you. I can feel the heat from the bake element, but not from the broil. It may take a few minutes. And we'll have to let that sit for a few minutes. In the meantime, let's check out this cool clock. Isn't that retro? That is so cool. The green and the blue. And I also noticed that it's not turning. It's not ticking. The second hand's not moving. So apparently we don't have power to the clock at the moment. So either I can fix the wire on the back, find out which one's not feeding it like it's supposed to, or we can try to trade out the clock from the other flare over there. I guess we'll see. So let's check out this broil element again, see what's happening. Stay. Come on, come on, stay, stay. Definitely want to replace that spring or do something with it. Can't tell. May have to check and see if we're getting voltage to it. Yeah, let me go to the back. We'll take some readings with a multimeter. See if it's getting voltage. Be right back. All right, so got my meter leads here. Turn on my meter. So these should be getting voltage. We find a ground post here. Maybe the tip of that screw there. That should do it. Or this one here. There we go. Right there. Should get 120. And we're not. There is no power to that one. But this one. Nope. No power to that one either. Well, let's see if I can find a better ground. No. The frame? Nope. Nope. We're just not getting any voltage to it. It's not on at all. However, see that there? That's wrapped in electrical tape. So let's turn off the broil control and see what's inside that. Off. Off, you beast. Thank you. Alright. Whoa! Tripping. Get out of the way. Thank you. Alright, let's see what's inside here. Ooh, that's an oldie. An old wire nut. Look at that. Oh, wow, look at that. That's pretty cool. But that's intact. Let's put the cap back on. We'll put some fresh electrical tape on that in a little while. So apparently it's not that. However, I don't know if you see this. This wire comes up to this. And this appears to be... not even sure what that is. Is that a fuse? Gotta love this old stuff. Let's see what the meter says. Let me turn this back on. Broil. Ground screw. There we go. Oh, turn on the meter. There we go. Anything here? No. Here? No. That's going to be a neutral, being white. Oh, we got 120 volts there. So we got wire, or we got power to the red. This blue here, nothing. This blue here, nothing. Okay. So we got power going into this block, but not coming out. So I'm going to bet these are fuses or disconnects or something that's not working right. So let me dig a little deeper into that. See if I can get these out. But I have to turn the power off first. I'll be right back. Okay, so I got this thing out. That is simply a jumper. It jumps this purple wire to this white wire that feeds the broil element. Let me plug that back in. This purple wire, I traced it. It goes to that broiler grill switch. So what I'm going to do, we're going to turn this onto broil. Clunk. And then we're going to turn this up. Oh, see the light on? Yes. Wonder. No, I didn't do anything. Set it to well done. Now let's go check voltages, see if we have power going to it. Oh, tricky, trying to get my tripod to stay up. Oh, I'm hearing buzzing. That's interesting. Where's it coming from? I don't know. Coming from that broiler grill switch. But let's see what happens when we check for voltage on these things. We got 120 there. And 120 there. This should be 240. Look at that, 240. We're working. So that switch, that broiler grill switch, right there, that has to be on for the broiler to work. apparently. And it may need to be replaced. That buzzing noise is usually an indicator of an arc, so it's not making a good connection. But let's go look inside and see if the broiler is heating up. It's got voltage, but that doesn't mean it's on. If the broiler element is no good, it's not going to be heating up. Let's find out. Ooh, it's hot. Oh, look at that. It's glowing red. Glowing red. The broiler works. Brilliant. Okay. Turn this off. Turn this off. Now, let's try this broiler. This one stays open. Don't have to worry about that. All right, let's see what happens. Let's turn it on all the way to broil. And then set this thing to well done. And let's see if this thing gets to glowing hot. Glowing red hot. The broil light's on. You see that? Yeah, it's on. But it doesn't appear to be getting hot. So we're going to have to check that out. Let's turn this off. Actually, no, we're going to leave it on. We're going to go check voltages. That connector. I'm going to see if we're getting voltage to it. So, tripod, don't fail me now. Hold your position. Thank you. Grab my meter. I don't hear the sparking. That's interesting. So, round screw. This connector. That's 120. This one should also be 120. There we go. So hit both. Ooh, nothing. That means we got power to one side, but not the other. Got power to this side. And it's going through the element to this side. That's why we're getting power on both sides, but it's only half, 120. But we're not getting power to both. Nope, nothing. Okay, so we're going to turn it off, unplug both, find out which one's getting power and which one's not. And we'll go from there. I'll be right back. All right, so we got the wires disconnected, so now we can test the voltage to each individual one and see which one's getting power and which one's not. Gotta turn the boiler back on. There we go. So, ground screw. This one. Oh, look at that, 120. This one, nada, nothing. Okay, so we gotta trace this wire and see where it goes, and then trace this wire and see where it goes. Find out why this one's not getting power. So let me turn it off. All right, so now I've got to follow this wire. Let's see, that's the light. Yeah, it's not a dark blue. Okay, it's this guy right here, and it goes over here. Okay, that's your main feed. Okay, yeah. So this wire, this purple wire, feeds this broil element and the bake element because it comes out the back through this hole. Right? could be something going on with that wire because remember the bottom, the bake element didn't heat up very fast. So let's find out where this white wire goes. White here. It's not that one, it's this one. There we go. Goes over there. It's got a wire that has been taped. Let me show you. This wire right here. If you look in there, that tape, that wire's been taped. But it connects to that screw right there. That one. So let me check the voltage on that guy when I turn it on. Let me set this back up. Yeah, you can see it. There? Yeah, okay. So, let me turn it on. Broil all the way around. Click. There we go. So, ground. Touch it on there. It's got no voltage. Ooh. Voltage to there. Voltage to that. Huh. And blue. That one's got 120. That one's got 120. So it looks like we may have something wrong with this connector. That screw right there is not getting any power. Well, we may have to take the oven control out of the other flare for this guy. All right. So now, make a note of that. Now I'm going to check this clock. Let me turn off the broiler here. Off. So now, this clock. Let's see what has power and what doesn't have power. Round screw. All right. This guy got power. This guy got power. This guy got power. This guy should not. Oh, it does have power. No, wait. Yes, it does. Why? Oh, wait. No, that's not the neutral. That's the return for the timer. Okay. This is your neutral. Yeah, there's nothing there. Fine. Good. Let me hold on to the neutral and see if we got power through it. Power here. Yep. Power here. Yep. Power here. Yep. Okay. So the whole terminal has power through it. That's good. This is your timer. This is the part that actually, the motor, that's the part that actually rotates all the mechanics inside. Do we have power to it? Yes, we do, but it's not turning. So we got a bad motor. So we'll have to see if the one out of the other flare works. Guess we'll find out. All right, now let me plug these guys back in. Okay. So now, what should we check out next? Let's check out the lighting. Let's see what happens when we check out the lighting. Our light switch is this guy right here. Lamp, oven lights, oven lamp. On focus, focus, you silly thing. There we go. See, oven lamp, oven lamp, off. So let's try the one that says lamp. What does that do? Oh, look at that. The fluorescent light works. So that fluorescent light bulb starter I showed you earlier is good. Outstanding. So now I'm going to turn this to off. Oh. Ooh. It's arguing with me. This knob is not very good. Let's turn on the oven light. Anything? Nope. Nope. So let's try oven and lamp. Lamp works. Oven lights do not. Okay, so probably bad bulbs. I'm going to bet they're probably incandescents. So we'll pull those off, those covers, and see if the bulbs are bad. And we'll be right back. Alright, so this cover, this glass cover here, slides. It's still hot from when I had the oven on, so I gotta be careful grabbing this thing. Careful, don't break it. Don't break it. There we go. Set that right there. Regular incandescent bulb. But I'm probably gonna need both hands for this, so. And it's probably gonna be hot. But let me put this down, see if I can get it loose. Hold on, I'll be right back. Alright. We got it loose. I'm threading it. At least I think I'm threading it, or I'm pulling it out of its base. Oh, great. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Yep, the bulb is no good. Snapped right out of its base. Now, I can't see it. Okay. Let's reach up there with a pair of pliers and grab it out of there. I'll be right back. Okay, so that socket in there is in there really tight. And it's really hard to reach, so what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to take this socket out and take those screws out, pull and off the wires obviously, pull this thing up and remove it that way. It'd be much easier to get out of there. I'll be right back. Well, I got it out, but it came out in pieces. I mean, I had to chew it all to pieces to get it out of there. But now I got a space to put a bulb again. So let me go see if I've got another bulb. And we'll put this thing back in place. I'll be right back. And it appears that I do not have a bulb. So we'll just have to install a bulb later once we get this thing all hooked up and fixed up. So let me go check the other one, the small oven. I'm gonna get this bulb pulled out of here. See if it works. Or, well, obviously it doesn't work, but see if we can get it out of there so we can replace it as well at the same time. This one's not hot because this oven doesn't work very well, remember? So, is there even a bulb in there? Yeah, there's a bulb in there. Will it come out willingly? Oh, look at that. That one's actually coming out nicely. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay. So it's no good either, but at least it came out in one piece. So that's one less thing we have to worry about. Looks like now it's time to open up that other oven and pull that switch out of it and the clock out of it. See if we can get them to come on. Oh, and then that burner that didn't work. So I'm gonna go work on that. I'll be right back. All right, so we got this other oven laid down. Let's take the top off. Let's get a good look inside. Well, it looks like the wiring is in about the same shape. I don't see any wires that are broken. I see some repairs have been done here on that switch. We got, that fuse terminal has been bypassed, looks like. So that's not good. Won't be able to use that. But there's those little disconnects there. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this socket and put it in the other one, the one we're working on, because the one that came out, I pretty much damaged where the light bulb was supposed to screw into. So we're just gonna pull this socket and replace it. And then we're gonna grab this switch. That's the one that's not working in the other oven. We're gonna grab the clock. Look at that. The motor's a little different. That's promising. Looks like the terminals are the same layout. So let's do that. And it looks like we can take these light bulbs out, the oven on indicator lights. Let's see if we can get those to work too. We should have a good working oven by the time we're done with this. All right, so we'll start with the socket. Again, take off these wires, take off these screws, and the socket will lift straight out. So let me get set up here. I'll be right back. All right, so this wire first. I mean, the wire order of the wire doesn't matter, but they come off. You got this screw. Pull that out of the way. And this screw right here. Lift this up out of the way. Now this whole socket should come straight up. There we go. Oh, look at that. That is clean. Clean inside. We're definitely swapping that out. Probably do the same with the other one too. So that's probably just as nasty. So we'll swap the other one also. All right. So now we're going to take these wires off. And these wires at the bottom. And these wires on this side. We're going to have to pull the knob off of the front. And then probably have to pull the front cover off, the front face off, to be able to disconnect the switch and pull it out. So let's start with that. Probably a good idea to mark where these wires are. That way we don't get them out of order when we go to hook them back up. Because that would be awkward. In fact, what we can probably do is take a picture. So I'm going to use my other phone here, get a picture of where the wires are hooked up so we can make sure we get them hooked back up in the right order. All right. Actually, put the screw back in there so it doesn't get lost. Like that. Keep these wires together. Are they going to stay together? Maybe. Those wires are going to stay together. Maybe. Put the screw back in there. We got this one. Wow, this one's got 4 wires attached to it. That's your neutral. Oh, they're all white. And we got this one here. You know what? I'm going to go get some electrical tape because I don't want these wires getting mixed up. I'm going to tape them together so I know which wires go on each screw. I will be right back. Alright, so I got my electrical tape here. We're going to go ahead and tape wires together that are supposed to go together. Like these two here. It doesn't have to be pretty, it's just temporary. These 4 white wires. Well, I'm going to get these 3 together because this white one obviously goes with the other 3. So we'll tape these 3 white ones together. So we know they go together. And then we got the blue and the green wires. These 2. Tape them together. And then we got these 2 here. Looks like one's a cream color, the other one's a white. Or gray, maybe. It's hard to tell when they're dirty and old. Oh, that one's yellow. It's like yellow and white, but they go together. So we're going to tape them together like that. And now we'll take this screw out here. Oh wait, let's put that screw back in its place so it doesn't get lost. There we go. I'm going to take the screw out of the blue wire. Move that out of the way. And now we'll take the screw out of the, it's like a red, yeah, that's your red wire. Oh, the other one's not blue, that's black. The dust makes it look blue, that's crazy. This is your red, these are your 2 feed wires, 2 hot wires. They're both 120 volts. Alright, let's put the screws back in their holes so they don't get lost. Okay, so looks like, is there a wire on that bottom screw there? No, that screws by itself. Alright. So, looks like, move out of the way. Yeah, looks like that's most likely attached from the front side behind the knob. So we got to take the knob off. if we can. Oh, look at that. Came off real easy. All right. That's interesting. How are we going to get this thing off of here? These screws here, probably. And we got to keep these things in here, because those are like the keyhole slot things that the top forks onto, like that. Don't lose those. All right, this thing should come off like that. Set that down. Oh, this is glass. Look at that. All right. Pull this knob off. Let's put them down here and we'll leave them in order so they can go back on in the right order. Wow, this is all the way across. So let's take off all the burner switch knobs. 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, let me show you what I'm doing here. I took the knobs off. Took these knobs off. Now I need to get the timer knobs off. 1. 2. And this one, let's see if it just pulls straight off. Yep, came straight off. It's 2 pieces. Okay. The white one fits inside the black one, like that. And it slips onto there. So, onto there. Yeah, camera skills are lacking today. Alright, so we're going to set this here because I can't do this with one hand without let it fall. Glass. Coming off, like that. Alright, set this aside. So now, this cover, this backing plate. Oh, well, that crumbled. That was awesome. So this should just slide straight off the front. Like that. Remember the direction it's facing. Off is up. That's important. Now we have this screw and this screw. And then that switch will come out. Oh. Yes, remember, because that's a thermostat, it's going to have a tail. You're going to have your thermo feed tube. That's this piece of copper right here. Let me show you. So, all right, let me get over here so I can get you a better picture. Hold on. All right, so now I've got a better angle here. So you see this copper wire right here. That's a tubing. That's actually tubing. It's not a wire. That wire, that tubing, goes all the way along here, and it goes into the top of the broiler, of the oven there. So we're going to grab it out of the broiler, pull it up through here, disconnect it from all the connectors that hold it down. That one right there, that guy. That's got to come off, and then this switch can come out. And we'll go and swap it out with the other one. However, we got a situation. The customer has to leave, so we're going to have to make a part 2. So this is going to be the end of part 1, and we will make a video for part 2, taking these parts out, putting them over into that one. But I guess, you know, you can only do so much in one day. So thanks for watching. Watch out for part 2. It's coming. Bye.